to another episode of Bat Disrupt, where we talk about innovation and disruption across real estate in the entire sector. Talking with industry experts and friends. I'm Dominic Cousins, Matt Breitenbach, and we are joined by New York's Brian Lewis.
How you doing? Hey guys, thanks for
being here
having
with
me.
us.
I really appreciate
This is awesome.
it. Thank you, fellas.
Yeah.
So, People Magazine has called you one of the industry disruptors when it comes to advertising and movies for their listings. Inman has called you as one of the top 10 most innovative agents. Tell us a little bit about where that comes from. What's the ethos and what's going on upstairs that really drives the machine?
Well, I pay them. I wrote checks. No, I didn't. I one of the things I do is I'm consistent. I show up. I can't help myself. Yeah. Like a farmer, I'm out there every day. So I'm always trying to do new things to propel and I get bored easily and I get distracted easily. So I am always looking for ways to stay sharp, creative, edgy, I don't know, in my world.
Sure.
I'm never worried about what the bigger world is thinking. I literally am not. So when suddenly I did this video to like punk real estate videos. The beauty of the Bing and Bing is that it gives you flexibility, choices, options. And now oddly, my real videos have sort of become what I was making fun of. So I was, People Magazine saw it and they called it the most interesting or best, or I don't know. They gave me some great thing, and it sort of. Then I was like, oh my God, people are watching.
They are.
And I keep doing them.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of them, and I do it for every listing. Really great ones like this, 201 West 72nd Street, shameless plug.
Yeah, do it.
I love it though.
And 16H, just reduce the price. It's great.
Where are we? So tell us a little about where we are right here.
Oh, this is great. This is a famous writer's place. She lives in Texas, great family. They asked me to sell this for them. I've worked for the family a number of years. And you're at the corner of 72nd and Broadway in a condo building with great views. It's rainy and gray right now, but in front of the Ansonia, great location, Beacon Theater, Central Park. It's so good.
Yeah.
And they did a really good job. They have a 3-bed with an office, condo, renovated. So I love the spot. It's a really great spot.
Good video take place in this apartment?
Yeah, we did a great video in here. Done some TikToks, done some
Nice.
fun stuff.
So what's your video output like? In what channels?
Sure. So I'm a man of habit, and I'm always open to new things. I live on YouTube, meaning that's where the anchor is for Brian K. Lewis or Brian Keith Lewis. And then we always do TikToks and Insta and whatever's next we will do. So we do a broad-based across channels, but that all drives back to YouTube because it's been a big success for my sellers.
Yeah.
And it's been a whole lot of fun for me.
Sure.
So did I think People Magazine would come at me or Inman would say nice things? Never was a goal.
Yeah.
And now I kind of feel like, well, I got to keep it up.
Definitely.
I got to keep being worthy of it.
Consistency.
So now you also have you came into real estate with an acting background?
I did. I was so good at acting that I became a real estate agent. But you know what's fun? I was so lucky, so fortunate.
Great.
Let me tell you. I came here in the 90s. I know you can't believe it, right?
Yeah.
Like who knew? No, but I came here in the 90s and I immediately got right out. I went to William and Mary in Virginia and I came right up to New York and I was going to do theater and this and that. And I started getting TV gigs, soaps and commercials and did a lot of stuff. Paid all my student debt with McDonald's commercials. I was the Head and Shoulders guy. This was a Maine.
Wow.
Maine. And I did Toyota and I did all these things. And I noticed that the commercials I booked were always the ones with lots of words right to the camera. There wasn't an audio, a visual of the script. I got off book quickly and I would look right at America and I would speak.
Yeah.
And those were my jam.
Nice.
So kind of it's what I'm doing in the videos. So it was good training.
Did you feel like politics was the next thing?
It's funny. I was a government major at William & Mary, and I never loved politics, but
Yeah.
I liked I don't know. I like some
idea.
of the show busy part.
Like the
I
idea.
don't want to work at
Crisp
City
blue
Hall.
suit, like a nice speaker, yeah,
Right,
like
yeah,
something that. But I don't
that's
want to do any
fun.
policy. But
And that's
yeah.
led to like some other things with, you know, the networks will call to talk about this or that or the other in the real estate industry, and I love doing it. So.
Yeah. Do you think there's so I know you did a video in Chicago, right, that got a lot of attention. Is there one video that calls out more than others that people go, oh, you got to see this one video that Brian did? It's just like they're all top notch, but this one knocks it out of the
That's
park.
nice of you. I don't know how top notch. Sometimes they're not as good.
Well, out of the box.
You know,
though.
I work from the hip, and I have a very small group, and I enjoy it. So, and anyone that's out there trying to innovate and do, my hat's off to them. I love creators, and that video, an owner in Chicago at the Ritz-Carlton condo saw my videos here, and said, "I want to fly you out. Will you do a video for me? I have a Compass agent." I said, "I don't want to step on their toes. Like, I'm not your agent." So I got to know this great Compass agent. She and I bonded. We did this thing to please her client. Her ego stepped aside. She just wants to close it, you know, and make her client happy. So I was able to go out there, stay in a nice hotel, eat a steak dinner, like hang out.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And it was like right after the pandemic. So it was my first real big trip. Yeah. So to be flown out there to do a video, which kind of started on a lark, and now they've evolved into this thing. And I think it helped her sell it, you know?
Sure.
But my favorite video story is 157 West 57th Street, the 77th floor. $42 million. I'll say that to the day I die. That was a great sale. And we did this video there. We did a different approach to it, and it wasn't irreverent. It wasn't making fun of video. It wasn't even performy. It was more dramatic, which to me is performing, because that's not how I roll. So I wanted it to be like a really like elegant car video, like, you know. The middle of the world, right here on Billionaires Row in New York City, close to everything iconic. Look up and you see it all. Look out and you see it all. The quality, the craftsmanship, the scale, the rooms, the service, the amenities, performance. You know? And we did it. And we really did it. And it hit. And the buyer
saw it
in Australia.
No.
Yeah.
Through YouTube?
Yeah. And flew through his grandson. His grandson got a hold of it and said, "Granddad, look at this." And they came in, they told me they saw it, and they bought it.
Oh, I love that.
Closed $42 million.
Hey.
$42 million.
All right.
So that was my favorite story.
Congratulations.
But I think my favorite video, which, I don't know, I wanted to do just like a movie. Like, I don't know. I call them movie tours because we produce them, right? And we spend money on them. So it's a movie.
Wow. Yeah.
So I tried to make it about a breakup. Like, I'm in this apartment, and it was my apartment, and I was asleep. And it's called The One That Got Away. And the cell phone rings, and it shows the cell phone. It doesn't say a person's name. It just says One That Got Away.
Yeah.
And then, like, pick it up, and they're basically coming over. They're like, "You want to hang out? I'm in the neighborhood." Hey, it's nice to hear your voice. I'm so happy you called. Yeah, I'm great. Oh yeah, I'm just hanging out. I was just reading. I was like, oh, okay. So it's very moody and music and this, but it shows the apartment and getting ready, and I loved that. I don't know if it got a lot of eyeballs.
Other people in the video?
Nope, no, just me.
Just you.
Total ego project. But yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
And then some people in LA saw it who I value, producers and stuff. And I'm like, "Hey, did you see that?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "You have married movies and this. It's great. We love it." Like, head of NBC, a movie producer who won an Oscar. No one gave me a job to be clear.
Yeah.
But I got some referrals.
Hey,
from it,
you know,
like this is my business.
Well, we were
Yeah.
talking a lot about, and we've seen, I think what's cool about this disrupting the podcast we're running here is we're getting into some higher levels of real estate innovation disruption, right? And like, what's video? Where's next? Where's it going? And one thing that came up is like the personality that shines through. I know we enjoy doing this because we feel like our personalities come out, and we've been getting some good comments about it from people that are seeing who we are because we want to showcase that. And when we discussed bringing you on, I was like, we were on a panel years ago, despite working on a referral off camera here, which hopefully goes down.
ABC.
Yeah, a good one. It's a good one.
one.
Like, I felt like I knew you already just from your videos. Like, and I think the personality, right? Like, you're, through video. So speak about that. Like, what kind of person are you trying to perceive on video? Like, what are you trying to come off? Because you have an incredible personality, but like, what are you trying to perceive in real estate?
That's kind of you. I can't be anybody but me.
Yeah.
I'm maybe that's why I'm not acting still, because I play myself. So I had this acting teacher years ago, and she had seen me on TV, and she was an actor's actor, like one of those. And she said, "How do you do that?" And I was like, "What do you mean? How do I do that?" And she goes, "You just talk to the camera." And I said, "Well, I'm just me." She goes, "Well, I act. I play roles. You're you." So I just be me. That sounds so weird.
This was Uda Hagen.
Her name was Uda Hagen. Yeah.
And
So
we talked about that. But you seem to instill her methodology, which is so.
well, I don't know how well I do it. I'm a real estate agent, not a theater actor. But the one thing I took away from her is be present, like be
I love that.
in the moment, be in the room that
love
you're
that.
in. And when we're showing a home, you got to kind of play the audience you're with.
Yes.
You can't just do every showing the same. At least I don't. Maybe you do, and that works for you. But that I take to heart. You kind of have to be with the person that you're with, and you have to kind of engage them in a way.
Yeah.
You know when you're losing them.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
You just kind of know, and you pivot and
No doubt.
and be that, because my understanding of what actors do, and I have a taste of it because I did it, is to know what you want, know your intention, and get it. Yeah. And that is what I like to do in life. Mm-hmm. Like, I know when I wake up what I want that day.
Yeah.
And go for it. In business, the kind of company I want to align with.
Yeah.
That's knowing your intention.
Sure.
I think is important.
So we're talking about disruption. We're talking about innovation, and clearly, you're involved in that significantly. What are you seeing in the business of real estate, whether it's here in New York, maybe outside the market, that is, in your mind, the top disruptor or a major disruptor in the business right now?
I think what disrupts everybody, and I don't mean this in the way that I think you guys do so well in your podcast, but I think some disruptor action is disruptive to progress. So I'm gonna just say that there's a lot of hype out there, and there's a lot of agents who are just trying to get on a bandwagon and do and get up early and kill it and that's good if that works for you. But I feel like the real disruptors are the old school people. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying the people that can't use a website or use their cell phone.
Yeah.
God bless them. My dad is one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the real oak trees of our industry who are really not getting a shining light on them. They may not do video. They may not do social. But you know what? They've been kicking it for 30 damn years.
And they're closing.
And they are closing.
No doubt.
I know some of the biggest agents, and some of their clients are young, who they don't do social. They have one assistant.
Yeah.
They're not on this flywheel thing that I love so much about.
Shout out to my
building
mom
and doing.
on that one.
Right?
A legend agent, incredible. And like my wife sometimes, because I invest a lot in my business, she's like,
sure.
hey, just do what your mom's doing, right? And it's like, I don't know, like there's different aspects of it, but yeah, you're right. Of like they just have their way. But I think, and then talking about disruption, like and being disruptive, right? And we mean disruption in a good way, right? Or like making things better.
Right.
But we also like what we've been seeing again, going back to what I was saying earlier about seeing these like connections between different people we're talking to, which has been fun for us learning, right?
Yeah.
But it's become like, things become like this full circle flywheel where things come back, which is almost disruptive of coming from here, coming back, and it's about
Right.
relationship and people, not transaction, or maybe not, which we learned from another big Aspen agent we were talking to. Like, disruption can be about people and about relationship.
That's it. It's taking the time, putting the phone down. That $42 million deal I did.
Yeah.
Do you know how I met that client? How I got the seller?
Give it to me.
Literally a shared ride, like a shared Uber situation.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I put the phone down, I'm talking to this lady, she starts speaking in French. I lived in France as a kid, I was an exchange student, so I'm like,
Nice.
I'm gonna parlez-vous a little bit.
Yeah.
I broke it out. And so we're talking, and at the end of the
C'est bon.
trip, she's like, yeah, c'est bon. And she said, what do you do? And I said, I sell real estate all over New York City. She goes, I have somebody for you. And she called me that day and she said, can you get to that building? And I went in and got it. Put the phone down.
I love it.
We're so worried about the
love it.
podcast and the YouTube and
Yeah.
amping
Do
up
love
and
that.
doing
I
what's
love it.
right and breaking through.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah.
Don't
Love that.
forget to connect with the people, right?
doubt.
And in
Absolutely.
your story,
Be present.
because I've met your mom and
Yeah.
I aspire to do deals with
Yeah.
your mom.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with age. It has to do with experience. So when I
Yeah.
say old school, your mom is not.
Yeah.
Your mom is right there.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at artists that break through, who are innovators, Lady Gaga, right? Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah.
She was repackaging. She was Freddie Mercury. She was a rocker. She like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
And you know what she did? At the height of her career, she went on tour with Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
Talk about an old oak tree. Like looking back at an artist, most innovative artists would not do that.
Yeah.
So she disrupted by going old school.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I love that too.
And I love when I learn about these agents that I aspire to reach their level. And I learn that they have maybe one assistant.
Yeah.
They don't have this army with no name that has an interesting, name that's
Yeah.
not a person, which is great.
Yeah.
But they're just them, and it's their connections. And then
Yeah.
I think, they're probably just a bunch of older clients. They're walking around. One of them brought at a townhouse I was selling. She walks in with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you supposed to be with some slick
Sure.
agent in a tight suit? Like,
Great
what
point.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
do, like,
Yeah.
be that guy. No,
Yeah.
classic.
So,
Never goes away.
That's
so
true.
we're, how do you see it in 5 years from now?
I feel like I'm not a prophet. I'm really not a prophet. I'm just going to be making my videos, trying to push it forward, trying to get some TV.
I got the
present.
crystal
Yeah,
ball
I
over
mean,
here.
really.
Yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
In 5 years, I feel like there will be less noise in our industry.
Really?
Yeah.
Less noise.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be, because all the yahoos, God bless them, are going to move on to the next shiny thing.
Right. The toy.
Because they're not from our industry. They're just using our industry to propel and build and disrupt.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that
No,
as a
no
diss
doubt.
on you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go away to a next, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And we're still here.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we're still farming our fields and doing our thing. And
Yeah.
all the big game hunters
Yeah.
are going to move away because this, as much as I like TV and stuff, it's not a reality show. It's not anything except day-to-day work, dedication. It's a people business. And that's not a diss on anyone who does the TV shows. God bless them.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's a whole nother set of skills.
It's another job. Yeah.
Dude, that is like reality TV. God bless you. That's
Yeah.
like amazing. It's worked very well for those men and women. Love it. But I just feel like the world's attention will go to something different. It'll fade to something else. Maybe I'm wrong. And I feel like you'll be left with some great, hardworking people that were still doing the day-to-day deals for their families and their friends. And it won't be as slick.
Yeah. I feel like disruption can be, in this business as well, can be so innovative in video and podcasts, as you say, and then it can
sure.
just be so simplistic, this business, like it's just a business of people and property and relationship at the same time.
That's it. And
Yeah.
I feel like we have so many good choices in the sort of salad bar
Yeah.
Right.
options.
Absolutely.
And it's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So just because, Brian Lewis has video, if it doesn't fit your brand or what you're selling, don't do it.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Yeah.
So
is there
go
a
around
part
the
of-
salad bar and do what works
Is
for
there
you.
a part of the business in real estate? Because clearly, very creative guy, and obviously there's the transactional side of real estate.
Right?
Is there a part of it, the business, that really you enjoy more than the other?
Good question. I like the people part. Like I literally love the people part. I don't love returning the emails all the time. Although I'm good, I'm a Virgo, I can get through it.
Yeah.
Just the looking down thing, and I'm a communicator, and I get a lot of like angst if I don't get back to people. Right? It gives me agita. But I love the people part. I come from a Four Seasons Ritz-Carlton service background. That's what I did as I supplemented my acting stuff. And it's in my DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not perfect at it. And every day I try to be better.
Yeah.
But that's my core,
Yeah.
the service part. And I
Yeah.
like it. I really
Yeah.
I like pleasing people. I'm a middle child.
Yeah. Me
So
too.
you are? That's awesome. Yeah,
Let's
3
go.
boys. I'm the middle guy.
Yeah.
And I find that I like to make people feel good.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
That's the reward for me. I know personally. Like, it's actually when people are like, "Great job," maybe it's a middle child thing.
Great
I don't
job.
know, but like,
Well, the
good job, like
paycheck's
good
good,
job,
too.
man. Paycheck is
Paycheck's
nice.
awesome.
I'll take that.
But the referral.
Yeah.
Like when I get that referral or something,
Yeah.
that to me is the paycheck.
Someone
right
trusts
there.
you. Someone wants to deal with you.
That's right.
You know.
like it.
And
That's the part I like. What about you?
Oh,
What
I
do you
love
like?
it. There's a lot of parts of the business that I love to have my hands in, from the design side, the development
Creator.
side, the
You're a
innovative
creator.
side. But of course, just working with people. Every day is different,
Right.
and I enjoy that a lot. I think the monotony of it would just not be for me. So one thing I want to get back to is we were talking about consistency, and I know you guys were talking about consistency, off camera.
Yeah, no, I love that you said that, right? I think it's like also about you seem like a learner, like you want to learn, you want to do things better, and like, what's cool about this podcast also is getting to like and we've talked about a little bit in our conversations, like what does disruption mean, right? And if we talked about some of the yahoos in the business, right? Or if you saw this, we saw this growth in sales and things happen, right? All these people come in, right? And we've talked about this on other episodes too, about like the business is so diverse. I got in 2006 at 22, and it's been like
A baby.
yeah, but it's grown. Like there's so many. When I got in, there was like I was like, now that I get DMs all the time from 21, 22-year-old kids, right, that want to come into the business, right? So it's interesting to see the makeup and where it's going to go. Are they going to last, or what's going to last, right? And I feel like the people that love it, like you, that consistent, want to grind, want to get after, want to do things better. So talk a little bit about like where you see you're taking your business. Where you like not only disruption, we talked about that in 5 years, but where do you want to take your group?
Good question. I ask myself that every day. Consistency. So, Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, started his workouts very early. It's a famous story. I've heard this secondhand, so I'm just going to maybe bastardize this story a
Yeah.
little
We're
bit.
big sports guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Got
a
it.
basketball guy.
Yeah.
I'm just posing because you talk theater or acting.
Yeah.
I can hit you, but I know enough. Kobe Bryant, his workout started I think at 3:30 in the morning. If you wanted to go work out with him, he was open to it. You go and you would get there, and by 4 he was already doing his thing. And they said everything that he was doing was basic. So just free throws, free throws, free throws, free throws. Basics, basics, basics. Consistency, consistency, consistency. So getting that in your deep DNA, every deal we do, consistent, year after year. You've seen your mom do it.
Yeah.
You've seen people do it. You do it.
Sure.
So it's every day doing it, trying to be better. Don't rest on your laurels. 42 million was yesterday. Do something different. Keep it moving, but the fundamentals, every day a free throw. I come from a family of farmers, my deep family history, old Virginia, and I really feel like a farmer every day, not a big game hunter. And I think some of the yahoos, God bless them, they're hunting big game. They want that big thing and they want to move on.
Trying to
They
look
wanna
for the
be-
gimmick, and like disruption in a bad way too, right? Where it's like
Right.
gimmicky. Disruption in a good way is like, I'm trying to do this better. I'm trying to get better. I'm
consistently. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that approach if that makes them happy and they get
Yeah.
it done. God bless them.
Yeah.
For me, it's a farming mentality.
I
One
love
field
that.
is being planted, one is resting, one is being harvested. And that if there's a drought, I have methods. I've
I
got
love
methods
that.
to do it.
So
now,
good.
if
Yeah.
big game wanders
Yeah.
onto my field,
Yeah.
no offense to the animal,
Yeah.
lovers, I'm going to take it down. I'm not going to take
love
what's
that.
mine.
Brian, that's
Yeah.
great.
But that's what you do, and so it's consistent. And it's like
That's great.
I like fitness. I do my best
Yeah.
every day. Chip away at it.
Yeah.
It's not a season. It's not a New Year's resolution.
Sure.
It's so if you're going to be in sales or any people business or anything in life, being a dad, being a partner, being a husband, being a wife, it's waking up every day and saying, I do.
Yeah.
I do. That's the oath every day. I do.
Yeah.
And commit to it and try to be better, and you will F up and you will fall. Just get back up and do it again.
Well, as it relates to waking up, one question I'd love to ask, as it relates to the business of real estate, is there anything that keeps you up at night?
Oh. Sometimes my kids. That's
Yeah.
cliche, but ever since I'm
I'm
a
a
dad,
dad. I'm a dad. I
you
get it.
you keep one ear open.
Yeah.
They're 11 and 10. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you, on their wedding night, I will have one ear open, and
Yeah.
probably forever.
Yeah.
That's just my life. What keeps me up? That there's not enough time to do everything I want to do. Like excitement.
Yeah.
I get excitement about, I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to do more media. I want to do, I want my brand to grow organically, not for growth's sake. I just want to create worlds where people thrive. My family,
Sure.
my friends, people I know, my clients. So if I can keep creating worlds where people thrive, I'll be very happy. I just want more time.
Maybe a Brian Lewis feature film?
Maybe.
Maybe that's
Well,
in the
Turn
cards?
to camera, smile, hold for applause. Would that be fun? I don't know. I don't
great.
even know what I would play. I'd play me. So,
That's okay.
if I did acting again, I have more respect for it. I would want to train and act like I know nothing because I don't.
Sure.
And really consistency
Yeah.
and build the craft. And,
Well, I like to ask the fun question, which is
okay.
any movie all the time. You're the lead star. Which one would you want to have in the past? Any past movie you like? I'd love to have the lead role in that film. Which one?
I got to work on it.
Yeah.
I worked for Russell Crowe.
Oh wow.
I was a stand-in, not a glorious job, but I learned a lot. And watching him work in A Beautiful Mind as his stand-in, I have a small role in there. Got a little check yesterday.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable work.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was unbelievable
Yeah.
work. But for fun, Top Gun.
Yeah.
I love it. Top
Goose or
Maverick.
Maverick or a new
I
one?
love
What
it.
do you got? I mean,
Oh, no,
Goose
I'm
goes
your
down.
Tom.
I'm your Tom.
You got
Yeah.
Maverick right here.
Yeah.
I want to be
Yeah,
that
come
guy
on.
is an industry. He has brought more
Oh,
money
dude.
to America than any maybe export. Like he's huge.
I love that.
Brian
that film
Maverick
is-
Lewis.
Dude, hats off. Talk about consistency.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
Every day.
Good.
Every day.
Attention to
I
detail
love-
all those real stuff.
Tom Cruise
You
is a
see so
beast.
much stuff too
I-
about the real jets flying, all sorts of crazy
I
stuff.
love all
Love
of
'em.
it. I
Yep.
love all of it.
Yeah.
But any artist that's creating, that's consistent, if you can look at Madonna.
Yeah.
Like they've been kicking it
Back out
since the late 70s consistently. Always creating, always red hot, sometimes white hot, always red hot. I love that.
I love
and it
that
doesn't
too.
have to be any flashy people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the old men and women of our industry who are kicking it.
Yeah.
They're silent. Look around, worship them.
Yeah.
I love it.
We stand on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you for meeting with us here in January 2023. Wishing you nothing but success
And you.
Yeah.
in
Thank
the
you.
days
man.
ahead.
Thank
And
you.
it's great
This
to
is
have
great,
you.
man.
on.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
Dominic. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Awesome,
Matt.
man.
Thank you.
Maverick.
Thanks for watching. Maverick.